Hold on, we gotta take a picture for the gram real quick. Make the haters jealous. Hello, you dirty potters. How are you today? Yeah, you know, Santa Claus came a little early this year and he's been putting his name real weird on the packages. I don't know who AMACO is, but pretty sure that's Santa, baby. AMACO has sent us yet another package of glazes. And today, you're gonna open this package up with me and you're gonna see exactly what's inside. I'm willing to bet it's their new line of cosmic glazes, and I haven't opened this box yet. I'm just willing to bet that's what it is, which is insane because honestly their glaze chemists have just came out with a line previously, less than probably a year ago, called AMACO Potter's Choice Flux, which we've been reviewing on the channel and I've been having a great time with. And the fact that they released a secondary line in such a short time is wild. That's right, just like the Starbucks I frequent way too much, they send me another little love note every time. Dear Donte, we are excited for you to try our new Cosmos line. These 5 glazes will take your pieces out of this world. I get it, because they're Cosmos. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to reach out. We can't wait to see how you bring Cosmos to life. Thank you for sharing your beautiful work in the world of inspiring. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. Signed, your friends at AMACO. Well, thank you, AMACO. Thank you very much. And it's signed this time, your friends at AMACO, which is great. I mean, this is just a side note, but it says Dear Donte on it, and I don't remember whether the last one said Dear Donte, but there's a part of me that's like, did they just put like a bunch of these letters in here? But the fact they put my name on there makes me think like, okay, so this was for me. Oh, another t-shirt, let's go! Oh, I love this so much. Oh, that's nice! That's so nice! How did they know I like to pretend to be fit on the weekends? Thank you so much. I'm gonna wear this. Not right now, but I'm gonna wear it. And of course, we have the combo list here, right? So what they seem to do and what a lot of companies seem to do is, oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. Do not tell me that's how this glaze comes out. So we have the Cosmos kind of itinerary here where they lay everything down and they tell you the plans for everything. Okay, that's nice. I remember the last time they sent me a package, one of the bottles broke, and so they sent us another one, which is fantastic because it turned out to be one of my favorite glazes. So this one is CO-6 Supernova. I don't know if you can see it, but if you look right there, because it's hard to see with my eyes, but on the new camera we have for the channel, you can really see like right underneath it. There's something else written, but I can't tell what it is. Maybe the comments below can tell us. We also have Solar Flare CO-7, which is big and amazing. Solar Flare is a Dragon Ball Z move, and that's hot to me. We have Dark Star. Kind of looks like an oil spot glaze. Damn, that's good. What are their chemists using? Like, what chemical are they using? The even crazier thing is that it has the food safe sticker on it from AMACO, and I trust the food safe sticker. I really do. I actually, in my youth, went out of the way to test them for food safety, and so many of the AMACO glazes came out food safe standard that I was like, why am I going to continue to test these? We have Mars Crystal, a banger, and we have Solar Rainbow. I bet this is the one that I saw on the front cover when we first opened up this package. Oh, that's so good. The really insane thing is that these pop out to me as crystal glazes, or at least some type of semi-crystal glaze, and usually they're super runny. So we're going to test how runny they are on this. I'm probably going to put these on my advancer shelves just to make sure they don't ruin my kiln shelves. But I bet, as AMACO standard usually follows, they are probably not as runny as most people think they are. So let's open one of these up and let's test them out. Let's get rid of this box first of all. We're going to try Solar Flare first because that is a Dragon Ball Z move. So we are going to try this one first.
Yeah, boy.
I actually have the perfect test styles for this. So I have one weird clay, and we're gonna test this on this kind of black and marbleized clay body with texture on it. So we're not gonna glaze the entire thing. We're most likely gonna go about right here, And we're going to see how far it goes from this line here. And we'll note it in the video just to see how much it runs, which means we will need a container to dip it in. More important one is this one here. This is a porcelain clay body, but it has lots and lots and lots of texture on it. This is one where I didn't trim the bottom at all, resulting in a giant crack. So now it's a testile. But I think this would go really well on this clay body just to see what kind of texture it brings out. We also need one that's just bare. So let's see here. Let's do this one as well, only because it has a glaze line, which is a line that some potters put at the bottom of their work to make sure it doesn't run past a certain point. I just want to see if I glaze it all the way, if it'll run at all, and I also want to see what it looks like on a very smooth clay body, very smooth porcelain clay body. Just as a quick little side note, whenever I get new glaze, I always try and denote how fast it dries. And you can see that it dries pretty quickly down here, but the top part of it is staying pretty saturated with water or whatever is in there. So this is a good sign. You can see that it's slowly drying here. Some glazes I get, not from AMACO specifically, but some bottle glazes I get are super saturated with some type of moisture, or the water molecules are far apart or something, right? So and they take the longest time to dry. They have a bunch of CMC in them or something like that. And because of it, they just take, I have to hold my hand like this forever. But this has been maybe a minute and it's already starting to dry.
Ryan Little.
I didn't even have to tong that one. That was good. I did not have to use tongs on that. There's just kesha everywhere. It's everywhere. I just recorded this after I opened the box, so it's just everywhere. Okay, now as we usually do, let's talk about what we're putting in the kiln before we put it in. This one here is a very texturized porcelain clay body with AMACO Solar Flare CO-7 on it. This is a raw glaze. This is all by itself. In fact, all of these are by themselves. This one here is a porcelain texturized clay body that I carved myself. I was doing some experimentation and I wanted to see if I can get away without trimming my bottoms, but I did a little crack there, so this is now going to be a testile. But I think it's still a pretty good mug, so this one only has Solar Flare from AMACO CO-7 on it. In fact, going forward, all of these are by themselves CO-7. This one here is the glaze by itself, but this is a very flat porcelain clay body. There's no texture on this whatsoever. The glaze line is here, it's on here as well, but the difference is I put this one a little bit higher, if you can see it, specifically so that we can see how far this runs and if it does in fact run. This one here is an amalgamation of a couple different clay bodies, but I've been super into making these type of blue melty clay bodies. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm super into this and they look really good if you only put a certain amount of glaze on them. So this one is kind of to see how far it runs, but also if it doesn't run at all, this will be a great product, I think. With that being said, let's put them in the kiln. Okay, now that everything's out of the kiln, let's take a look. Let's take a look at our white testile first.
Ryan Little.
This being on our white testile came out pretty good. I will fully admit that I poured this one on, much like how I did with Cosmos Darkstar from AMACO. I poured a bunch of them on, and then I also brushed a bunch of them on. This one is poured on, and it came out fairly good, to be honest with you. I'm learning that there's no one consistent curve with these glazes, especially in the Cosmos line. You really have to experiment with them to see which ones run, which ones can go inside and outside, and which ones can't. The surprising thing about Solar Flare here is that you can put it on the outside and you can put it on the inside, and it doesn't seem to have any apparent pitting, much like Dark Star does. The only real negative thing about this glaze, and it does say this on the bottle, is that it will run. Because this is poured on, this absolutely ran, much like the rest of the Cosmos line if you pour them on. Now, I do have a darker test style over here that I brushed on, and that one came out exactly how the producers meant it to be used. This one here is our dark stoneware clay body. It's essentially just a little sake cup that I used. This little sake bottle here is entirely brushed on, and unlike a lot of other Cosmos glazes, it is extremely stable. And I did follow the instructions on this one. I put 3 layers here and then 2 layers here, and I barely put about a layer and a half right here. But the entire thing has still got these little microcrystals that I think the company was aiming for, especially on a darker clay body that usually has a bit more iron or contaminants in it. I'm surprised to see that I got a lot more of these little microcrystals that I think the company was aiming for when they developed these glazes. Keep in mind though that this is a darker clay body and this one here is a white clay body, so you definitely see the difference in color in between the two. This one is essentially red with little streaks of these crystalline whites inside of it, and this one is essentially just like all brown with little tiny microcrystals in it. I hate to say this, but I really do think all of the Cosmos glazes do need to be brushed on. So it's the one time you have to follow instructions with the AMACO glazes. You can abuse them any other way except for the Cosmos line. The Cosmos line, you really have to be about it. Do keep in mind that this one also has the interior of the solar flare as well. So a lot of them you're not supposed to put on the inside and outside. You really can't put a liner glaze with these. At least that's what the instructions say, like, hey, don't put a liner glaze and then put the glaze on the outside because it might pit. And I got maybe a couple little pits here, but I still think this is a massive success in comparison to CO8 Dark Star that we did earlier. That ruined it if you put any liner glaze in here and even brushed it on the outside. Even some of the little pottery tricks I know didn't prevent it from bubbling and running even with a liner glaze. So I'm happy to see that this one has a little bit more utility in it, in that I can probably put a liner glaze in here and make some food safe wear with this glaze. Our third test here was a mixed clay body where I wanted to see how far this glaze truly ran. This entire test style was just a running test, and that I glazed right here. You can really see the glaze line where I stopped glazing, and I dipped it. I didn't brush this on at all. I took the entire thing and just plopped it right in, and I stopped about right at the midway point. You can really see how far it ran. This is not a glaze that you want to play with and be like, oh, I don't need a catch. You should either make a catch or make sure that you layer down, because this is a perfect example of what happens when you do not layer down. I tend to record most of my videos with direct sunlight, so that's kind of the beam that you're seeing right there. And I have to put it at a specific angle so that you see the entire glaze matrix, instead of getting this giant sheen in your eye like this. And it usually works out fairly well because the glaze can more so absorb the sunlight, but this has so much like alumina in it or something that it just reflects it, so you can barely see without me burning your retinas away. The Cosmos glazes for sure do be shiny. Now thus far we've been using all of our tests on kind of this plain brushable wear, right? But what happens when you have something with a lot of texture in it? Well, I wanted to know what happens when you put solar flare on something with texture, and that is what this test style represents here. This is probably the best test style that I got out of the entire batch. And granted, this one is also poured on, it is not brushed on. Granted, if you put a little bit too much in there, it ends up doing this weird kind of crystally glopping at the very bottom of your stuff. So I would still suggest using a liner glaze if you tend to do that, which the instructions say do not do that. Side note, I am going to do that. Well, thank you, Dirty Potters, for joining me today. If you enjoy these types of glaze review videos, or you want me to do more Cosmos glazes from AMACO, please leave it down in the comments below. Remember to click all the YouTube buttons. It really helps me out, and it lets me know that you like these videos. One side point here is that these glazes have been extremely pleasant to test, and that I have to treat them all like completely different glazes. The majority of the time, a company will make a bottle of glaze and kind of just take it down the line. So they'll make a base and then they'll add like a percent of cobalt, and that makes blue. And then the next one will be 1.5% of cobalt, and that makes a deeper blue. But they call them two different glazes, and they just sell you the base with more oxides and carbonates in them. These don't seem to really be like that. They do not play well together, nor do they really play with other glazes that much. I would keep them separate from other glazes unless you get lucky and find a banger combo. I found one myself with my Lumos and CO8 Darkstar, and it looks fantastic. But I would not take my chances unless you want to run through about 5 or 6 products or test styles before you find that one magical combination. I am happy, however, to report that this is probably the most stable one that I got. And while I didn't get much of these types of crystals that you see on the bottle here, I did get a stable glaze that looks kind of crystalline that I can use with a liner glaze, and that will also not run as much as you would think it would run. Well, thank you guys for watching me today, and I will see you, Dirty Potters, next week.
Thank you for your patronage.
Oh, can I pull this off? Is this big enough? Nope, not big enough.
That's what she said.